Welcome to Kenya Snapshot, the day in a glance, your daily dive into the stories shaping law, justice, and human rights. I'm your host, Amina, and today we're focusing on Kenya, a country at a crossroads. It's September 1, 2025, and Kenya is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. State repression, digital crackdowns, and a shrinking space for civil society. But there's also resilience, legal victories, and a growing demand for accountability. Let's break it down.
And I am James Mwan. Kenya's human rights situation has taken a dramatic turn in recent months. The government is increasingly targeting activists, journalists, and even human rights organizations. Take Otieno Namwaya, a senior researcher at Human Rights Watch. In late August, Kenyan police were caught surveilling his home, a clear act of intimidation. Namwaya has spent over a decade documenting police brutality and rights abuses, and now he's the one being watched. The Kenya Human Rights Commission called this a brazen act of intimidation and a direct assault on the country's constitution. But Namwaya isn't alone. Software developer Rose Njeri was jailed for creating a pro-democracy tool, and her arrest sparked the viral hashtag #FreeRoseNjeri. Both cases are part of a broader pattern. The Kenyan state is using surveillance, arrests, and even online smear campaigns to silence critics. Digital repression is on the rise too. The government is flooding social media with disinformation, labeling activists as paid puppets or foreign agents. These tactics aren't just about controlling the narrative, they're about creating fear. As Amnesty International's Irungu Houghton put it, disinformation is designed to discredit human rights defenders and deflect the concerns they raise. It's a page straight out of the authoritarian playbook, and it's working. With elections on the horizon, experts warn things could get even worse.
Beyond the cities, Kenya's indigenous communities are fighting for their very survival. The Ogek people, one of Africa's last hunter-gatherer groups, were violently evicted from their ancestral lands in the Mau Forest. Despite African court rulings in their favor, the government has yet to return their land or pay reparations. Fred Ngusilo, an Ogek activist, told reporters, "The forest is our life. Without it, we are suffering greatly." Their story is a stark reminder of how land rights and human rights are intertwined and how easily they can be ignored. Meanwhile, Kenya's LGBTQ+ community is facing both progress and backlash. In a surprising move, the government voted to renew the mandate of the UN's independent expert on sexual orientation and gender identity. But this small step forward sparked outrage among conservative politicians who called it a betrayal. And for trans Kenyans, the fight for legal recognition and dignity is far from over. A recent court ruling found that a trans woman's rights were violated in prison, but systemic discrimination persists. As one activist said, there is a legislative gap in the protection of trans people.
Kenya's police force is under fire for its brutal response to protests. During last year's Gen Z demonstrations, at least 60 people were killed, most by police. Yet no officers have been held accountable. The Independent Policing Oversight Authority is pushing for reforms, but impunity remains the norm. And it's not just protesters at risk. Reports of torture, arbitrary arrests, and even deaths in custody are on the rise. The question is, can Kenya's justice system deliver accountability, or will the cycle of violence continue? There's a glimmer of hope though. The British Army recently paid millions in compensation to Kenyans affected by a wildfire caused by its troops. This follows a landmark ruling that stripped foreign militaries of legal immunity in Kenya, a major win for accountability. But will this set a precedent for other cases, like those involving police brutality?
Beyond conversations on people and events, plunge into how these narratives mold